What?
Just going with it.
Okay. Sure, why not?
I said go.
Are we just the patrons?
Yep.
Okay.
Hit start streaming.
Hey, remember I did that last time.
Yeah. All right.
Holy cow. Wait, there's so much more room for activities.
I know. In the future, we can actually put stuff on the table and have it not crowd everything.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh, it's almost like we can have props now.
Right? I'm guessing you want this just somewhere.
Sure.
I guess right now.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ready to party?
Yeah, whenever you are.
Hey everyone! Welcome to the Nintendo Prime Podcast, episode 107. It is also technically our Road to E3 Week 2 podcast. I think the next one, or the one, I don't know. So coming up is the betting special one of these days.
Yeah.
I don't know when, but
don't know.
it's coming. It might be the next one, I think, because even though, I think because the one Thursday is when we're going out to
That'd be two.
the hotel.
We have two before that, though.
I don't know if
Yeah,
there's
because
two
we have
left.
next week, the week after, and then we leave the one
the
before.
week after we leave.
No.
Next week's my son's birthday, and his birthday's on the 30th. We literally leave the week after.
No. We don't.
That's okay. It doesn't matter. We
have next week, and then there's
what
one
matters.
more week. And
What
then
matters is
week.
that this has now become the Eric podcast because he corrects me all the time. That's like his number one rule on this whole thing is you must correct me. All right. That being said, welcome to my co-host on my left, Mr. Eric Moore.
Hello.
And I am Nathaniel Rumpeljans as always. As you can see, hey, we have a new set. It's pretty.
Room. There's room.
There's a lot of room. I feel bare and naked right now. I'm so used to having so much stuff behind me that I'm going to bump into and knock over.
Right.
That's not the case right now. That set is not gone. It's still there, but it's for discussion videos and stuff, which you could argue, what's a podcast but a discussion?
Right.
But you see this beauty of a table/desk that we have here. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to take advantage of this giant space yet. What is apparent is that we have a lot of space. So
yes.
In the future, we're probably going to have our laptops available so we can have some information in front of us because we have the space to do it now
right.
without covering us. So that's going to be really cool. Not 100% sure if this camera angle is going to stay the same. Might come lower. It might be more straight on so you don't see such a long table in front of you. I don't know. Okay. We're playing around with it. Things are going to kind of ebb and flow as I kind of figure out what is the best presentation style for this. As an example, am I going to keep the mics coming out of here or am I going to run them back straight up? I don't know. I won't know until I get in editing and I'm like, God, that looks weird. It's way like the Flying V.
Yeah.
Mighty Ducks, baby.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. That being said, it is our road to E3 and I guess we could start with one E3 topic, and that would be the show floor plans that come out. The show floor plans are mostly irrelevant outside of just figuring out what companies are going to be at E3 with a booth. And some people were wondering what was going to happen with Sony's space, since Sony isn't there. And, well, not a whole lot really happened.
Yeah.
It was like 5 different booths took over their space. So people were trying very hard to convince me that Nintendo's booth got bigger.
No.
But I actually looked at it. Their booth, the reason that it looks bigger is because of what Sega did. Sega moved their booth from just right of Nintendo's to where Ninjala was last year, and then they also took over the space that had like those Nintendo games and stuff.
The accessories?
Yeah, the accessory stuff.
Yeah.
So they basically took over that space, and their space extends a little bit out past Nintendo's, and that made everyone feel like, oh, Nintendo's booth is bigger. If you actually look at the maps and you line it up with the doors, Nintendo's booth is the exact same size.
Right.
And it's been the exact same size since we started attending in 2016. And who knows, maybe it's been the exact same size forever. We just weren't attending. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it probably hasn't been the same size forever. But the bottom line is that it's the same size as last year. That doesn't necessarily tell you how they're going to lay the booth out. That doesn't tell you anything. You don't know. What is clear is that the main area, the main giant square, is usually where most of the games are. Yeah. I mean, we don't know how it's going to lay out. We don't know the theme. We don't know anything. But Nintendo's booth is the same. Sega's booth is bigger. That's interesting to note.
It may not be. It could just be because I know it was longer last year than.
Yeah, it's bigger.
Yeah,
dude, that Sega booth was tiny.
Yeah, you're right.
Last
You're
year.
right. Because it was only mainly.
They had the little theater where you could watch Total War.
Oh yeah.
And then they had this. Then they had the small little section for Sonic, and then
pretty much
no. You're forgetting the entire section we didn't get to that had Valkyrie Chronicles.
Oh yeah.
And all, but even that was dinky.
Yeah.
That their booth was tiny. The one they have now is half the size of Nintendo's big area.
Okay.
So they definitely are showing more or having more to play. I don't know what it is. Team Sonic Racing will have already been out, so that's probably not part of it. So I don't know. I haven't paid enough attention to what's going on at Sega, but like even Total War 3 Kingdoms comes out I think before E3. So I have no idea what they're showing off, but it's gonna be crazy. I can't wait. We're gonna be walking right by it, and we'll play anything that's on Switch. So what's interesting though is the more and more I kept looking at the maps, because you have the West Hall and the East Hall, South Hall, whatever. I don't remember.
West and South, right?
Because that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, and it's a decent walk between the two.
Yeah.
Is you have the hall that Nintendo's in all the time, which I think is the West Hall.
Yep.
But then the South Hall has now kind of become the go-to hall. I think if you have a Gamer Pass, you should be going to the South Hall. Go to Nintendo's booth when you decide to go. It's going to be packed lines no matter what. So get your Warp Pice and go then. But once you're done with that, go to the other hall. That's where all of the big companies are. Everyone is there but Sega and Nintendo. So that's really where you want to go to try out the most games. That doesn't mean that there isn't anything else in Nintendo's hall that's worth it. You might as well just call it Nintendo's hall because, let's be honest, it's the only reason anyone's going in there.
Right now? Yeah, probably.
GameSpot took over a little space, but GameSpot had a space before. You know what? I was weird, though. I didn't see IGN anywhere.
Yeah, you're right. That is a little weird.
IGN's usually in that hall. Yep. I'm wondering if they're moving over to the other hall.
Just to the left of where Sega is.
Yeah.
Normally right away.
And granted, there are still some spaces that aren't claimed yet, so maybe IGN's just late to the party this year. Or maybe IGN's not doing a stream this year from E3. I guess I didn't really pay attention to IGN and what they have publicly said their coverage is going to be like. Mm-hmm. So maybe they're actually backing out of doing a live show at E3. I don't know. That would be weird, though, for them to do that while GameSpot is still there, because that means they're conceding that GameSpot could just own E3, and I don't think they're going to do that. And I checked the other hall, the South Hall. They didn't have a booth there either, but again, there were available places. So
I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah. So that is what it is. For those that care about games media, I guess maybe that matters to you. And GameSpot's booth is decently big. And it's right across from Nintendo, so it's not you can't miss it if you're going to Nintendo. We'll see plenty of it.
The one thing I found kind of interesting was that there was an esports section too.
Sure, but there was an esports section last year too.
Was there?
Yeah,
and just
it was in the other hall. We didn't spend as much time in that hall.
Yeah.
But we'll be spending probably more time in there this year because based on the Warp Pipe Pass and some things, I'm hoping we could just be done with Nintendo's booth day one.
Yeah.
And then after that, then we're hitting everything else. So Sega and then the other hall. Well, I mean, we'll go. We're going to be hitting accessory makers this year, harder than last year. And I'm actually going to try to ask them, hey, can we like show off your product for Switch? Like, take it out of the case and like put it on film and talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping because I kind of want to add that to our coverage this year because I think that even though Sony not being there has nothing to do with how many Switch games are available, as long as Pokemon is available to play through Warp Pipe Pass and I don't forget my badge ever, or you don't forget your badge, we're going to fly through everything there. Like, there's people that try to tell me, oh, you don't really care about Mario Maker that much, so then you should just don't worry about playing it there. And I'm like, dude, we're playing everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's happening. It's not that hard. The only reason we didn't get Valkyrie Chronicles in last year was because I forgot my pass.
Yeah.
And then the line was closed off. So it's like...
Well, and then there was the one, like, rhythm game that we missed, too.
Which one is that?
The one that was basically right inside the door to the left as you were walking into the West Hall there. There was one like drum beat game that we never played.
I have no idea what you're talking about, so
yeah.
I'll just
I don't remember the name of it. We didn't, but
I don't remember playing it, but I'm like I don't even remember it being there, so
it was like a drum simulator game.
They have the college. They have the college section back where they had those games being shown up by college kids.
Oh, nice.
They had that last year too.
That's pretty cool.
That we walked through. There was like nothing for Switch at the time. It's all pretty much all PC, but
right. But it was still pretty cool to see what they were.
Sure, designing. I mean it's interesting, but I ain't got time for that.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm sure.
If I have no. If I have any extra time, I'm going over to Microsoft this time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because like I still haven't gone.
Yeah, it's
to actually see what Microsoft is like. So
very, very true.
This year I want to actually go. We might have to do it on day 2 instead of day 3.
Yeah,
since day 3 the hours are closed even earlier than the show floor is. That being said, I mean there's all the major third party companies that you would expect to be there are there. I think there was one that was there that wasn't there. I think THQ Nordic is there this year that wasn't there last year. So I don't know what they're going to have showing off, but that'll be interesting to see what they have going on. What's kind of interesting just looking at the show floor layout in general is that outside of Sony, it's almost like nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, I guess not surprising because I guess there was some concern if Sony backed out, were other people backing out, and the answer is no.
Yeah, at least not that we've seen.
Like, no. Oh, well, I am interested to see. There is a giant section where Sony used to be that's now the E3 Gaming Lounge. And I don't know what that is. That's new. They didn't have that last year. I checked the map. So I'm like...
Oh, right.
I'm like, what is that? Is that like... is that where you just go to sit?
Yeah, probably.
I could
possibly.
See. But it's a gaming lounge. So do you game?
Do they have just
Is
random...
it esports?
Well, no, because they have an esports section.
Yeah, but that's usually whoever... sanction that esports section is doing that.
I guess.
That might not be the ESA. And then there's also like a little ESA thing, which I guess that's probably them just trying to garner support for the ESA.
Yeah.
Because, they did a video on them. They're having some problems. We
talked about it last week.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. So I think that in general, the show floor layout looks pretty close to identical to last year. Like Ubisoft's booth is the exact same size. And again, a quarter of it will be the Just Dance stage because it always is. As long as they make a Just Dance, you guarantee there'll be a quarter of their booth will be the Just Dance stage.
Yeah.
But why? Because it's like iconic at this point.
Yeah.
It just is. Yeah. It's just iconic. It's one of those, all right, gamers get the courage to go up there one time and get their photo or video taken and whatever. It's fine. It works out. It'll be interesting to see what else is available to play at Switch that's not in the Nintendo booth.
Right. For sure.
Like Wolfenstein Youngblood and Doom Eternal are going to be there. I guarantee we'll be able to go to Bethesda's booth to play those like we did last time. But I don't know what other third-party sports are really coming. So
I don't know.
Hopefully we find out about a bunch of stuff. I did notice one thing this year that seems even bigger than last year. There seems to be more indie studios there.
Okay.
Granted, they're always small, little sections. I was disappointed. I did not see Gung Ho anywhere.
Oh, no.
That does not mean Ninjala won't be there. It might be in Nintendo's booth.
Maybe.
But I'm guessing it's not.
Probably not.
and that sucks.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a new demo at least.
Yeah,
Come
right,
on.
Right?
God, I don't care about I don't even care about the merch.
Need the fix.
I just need
Need
the
fix.
job. Damn it. Without having to travel the world to play the same demo from last year. Anyways.
Right.
I just want to know the game's still coming, okay?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so that was a little disappointing just because I was hoping to see Ninjala again, but there's a lot more indie studios this year with little dinky booths, which is cool. We played some indie Gala Fighter Z or whatever last year.
Yeah, that was
which was
was
all
definitely
right.
interesting.
I mean, I have a review code of it sitting in my inbox that I still haven't touched. I just don't have time to play as many games right now as I'm getting ready for E3. And I do a review per month, so like I'm trying to focus on that one game per month kind of thing. Although the game I want to review this month is Sonic Team Racing, but we'll see if that's the game I review. It might just end up being whatever indie game code I have, since money's a little tight because we're heading to E3.
Yeah.
So I might not have like a spare $40 to pick up Sonic, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's not the 21st yet. Maybe I'll get my refunds on my nanolights by then.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So this lovely background, there was supposed to be more going on.
Yeah.
Maybe next year. Maybe next year. One step at a time.
Right? Right?
Uh-oh, just got a
Wait.
copyright claim.
Uh-oh.
All right, anyways.
Uh-oh.
Hey, I just said a sentence. Come on. With a little singing
Yeah.
to a tune of a copyrighted song.
Way to go.
So, did you have a chance to look at the show floor plans a little bit?
I watched a little bit of your one video on it.
Okay.
And, I was looking at it, and it's the same setup as last year pretty much for Nintendo.
Yeah.
With the two separate ones. I'm guessing the one on because they have kind of the square one on the, if you're looking at the picture, they kind of had that big square one up on the right, and then they kind of have a long rectangular one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing the warp pipe stuff is going to be happening because the one square one was where Smash Bros.
was, yeah.
Yep. So I'm guessing the warp pipe stuff's probably going to happen in that area.
I have no idea.
Guessing.
It
That's why I said guessing.
The layout's different every year, so
That's why
I
I
don't
said-
know. And then like the reserved off to the right, that's like the media
Right.
press and blah, 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 blah. They have two little reserve sections. They have that every year.
Mm-hmm.
I also saw that there's a reserved area above Nintendo's booth, and I think that's just like last year where they're forming lines back there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what for though. I kept thinking last year they formed it for Smash, right?
Right.
So if you didn't
That
have a
would
warp
make
pipe,
sense.
if you didn't have a Smash Pass,
Yep.
you would get in the lines back there, and the
And-
lines went fast.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what game this year warrants the line? Pokemon?
Yeah. I mean, but then why would... Yeah, I don't know.
I kept thinking, I'm not saying there's like a lot. The thing, there's so many games coming. Why would they need to have a line for one? Maybe it's just a line for the whole booth.
Animal Crossing.
It could just be a line for the whole booth. Because remember, they did wind us back there when you wanted to go through Mario Tennis.
Oh, yeah. When you wanted to actually get into the...
Yeah, when you get into the main booth area,
booth,
they did
yeah.
wind you back. So maybe they're just planning for it to be a
Maybe.
general line
Yeah.
area to get in.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I will say is that when you got in the Mario Tennis line, it did move kind of quick. I mean, I say kind of quick. You're still in line for an hour.
Yeah.
But when you're used to standing in the Pokemon line for 4.5, an hour's nothing.
Yeah, right. Right.
At least you're moving every 10 minutes.
Yeah, right. For sure.
So,
It's-
man.
The general lines generally go relatively quickly.
But see, that's just the line to get into the. Is like how they did it last year. That was the line to get into the booth.
Right.
Because basically the line would move as quickly as the Mario Tennis Aces demo went. Because they would pack as many people as they could into the main area after that. Because you would play, there was two lines to get into. Well, three. Go play Smash, or get into the Pokemon line, which is its own thing.
Yep.
And then you had the general area, and you would go Mario Tennis Aces. Everyone was required to play that. You get a set of pins at the end of it, and then you could go into the general booth area. Well, the general booth area was just games all over the place. Go get in line to play them. So like the Starlink Battle for Atlas line was the longest.
Well, yeah, because that one kind of took forever.
Well,
They
then
gave you a decent demo.
Yeah, it was
Time.
a good. Well, it's a long demo.
Yeah.
And then people would play it in handheld and want to play it in docked mode. What was interesting about that is we found out later we could have just went to Ubisoft's booth and there was like no line for the Switch version.
Yeah, well.
There was no line for Starlink in general at the Ubisoft booth.
Yeah,
so we really could have just not had to worry about it.
Yeah,
But that is the key thing to remember for anyone who's going for their first time this year. If there is a major third-party game in Nintendo's booth that is not exclusive to Nintendo, and that third party, this is why you look at the map, and that third party has their own booth, go to their own booth because the Nintendo thing will be the least played thing there. Because most of the people going to those booths are going for PlayStation 4, Xbox, PC. Mm-hmm. They're not going there for Nintendo because all the Nintendo people are going to Nintendo's booth. Generally, so you can literally save a ton of time. Like, dude, think about this. Like last year, we just walked up and played Wolfenstein.
Yes, we did.
We walked up and played DBZ Fighters on Switch.
Yes, we did.
Like, we just walked up and played them.
Yep.
No lines.
Yeah.
We're just like,
all right.
So the thing is, that has nothing to do with the Switch's popularity. What it has to do is everyone who wants to play Switch is at Nintendo's booth.
It's
such a long line that.
Or is it more of a you don't really think of Nintendo Switches being outside of Nintendo?
No, I don't even think that's it. I think it's just think about it. If you go to E3 to play Switch, where are you going? Where are you beelining to?
Nintendo.
Okay, and then the lines are long.
Yeah.
So the next thing you know, you're in there all day. You're in the entire day that you're there.
Yeah.
You're there doing that. Okay, so the ones that aren't interested in that are PlayStation 4 and Sony fans. They're all off, and Xbox fans. They're all off doing their thing at all the other booths, where all the Nintendo fans are still trying to get into the Nintendo's booth all day long. That's why. That's the bottom line. That's why there's hardly anyone touching this. There are some people touching it, but there are not that many people.
Yeah.
Like so, literally, it's like a ghost town, and that's fine with me. I hope they continue to do it because it's going to make us playing games much easier.
Not going to lie, though, that Wolfenstein was kind of hidden.
No, it wasn't. It was right. You could see it walking right by. That's how I spotted it. I looked over there. I'm like, dude, that's Wolfenstein on Switch right there. Nobody's playing it. Well, how do we get... Well, the line to play it was hidden.
Yeah.
But the actual, where they are, I'm like, do I just walk up? I'm like, no, there's going to be lines. Okay, here's the line. Here's the non-line.
Here's the line forms here.
And then the thing is, another important thing to remember is Nintendo, when you're recording footage, say you want to record footage of you playing, at Nintendo's booth, you have to be present in the footage.
Someone has to be present.
Yes, someone. Footage. I mean, if you... They kind of let you record it if someone else is playing. They don't really check to see if you're putting that person in. But if you are playing, like if I'm playing it and Eric's recording, my face has to be present in the thing, which is fine for the most part. It's not that big a deal.
I thought it was just even like your shoulder head has to be in it. I know
they're way less strict about it than they were back in 2016. 2016 they were super strict. This time they mentioned someone's got to be in it, but they don't really get specific.
Yeah,
and they're not really checking the footage.
Yeah.
So, but what I noticed is like for Wolfenstein, like no, dude, like go on right on the screen.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm like, pfft.
Yeah, they didn't care.
I'm like, sweet. So Bethesda, they're like, you want some awesome footage? God, and they're gonna have two this year, Doom Eternal and Wolfenstein Youngblood. So like, and the Doom Eternal line is probably gonna be long, but I wonder if you mentioned I'm here just for the Switch version.
There you go.
You get to skip a little bit.
Maybe
we'll see. But I mean, there's gonna be a lot to play at Nintendo's booth, and that's obviously what we want to hit first and get out of the way. I mean, there's so many Switch exclusives this year coming, so it'll be a lot of fun. I just hope it's all like, if there was what Switch exclusive this year do you hope is playable there? I mean, Super Mario Maker 2 we already know is going to be because it comes out in June.
Right. Oh God.
Because beyond that, there's nothing else guaranteed to be playable.
I know, that's just it. I don't even know. I honestly
we're assuming Sword and Shield will be playable. We don't even know.
Right.
Could it be Anthem video presentation?
I don't... Fire Emblem Three Houses, is that Switch exclusive?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
mean,
it comes out in July.
Surprise me if that was there.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance also comes out in July.
Oh, yeah, that would be sweet to have there. Yeah, I'm hitting that line.
Yeah,
I'm
going with
hitting that
Marvel.
line.
I'm
hitting that line.
I'm going with Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Fire Emblem Three Houses, I think for me, I mean, I'm hoping Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion, and all stuff are playable. I don't know.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion would be sweet.
But like, I want to go hands on with Fire Emblem. I
Yeah.
want to see if it's just more of the same from 3DS, which is fine, or what. Like, what we've seen looks like more of the same, but I don't know. I just have to play it. You know, they always have the rock paper scissors style gameplay, and it's a strategy game, and I like strategy games. So we'll see how I feel about it after playing it. I haven't really. I played a little bit of Fates, a little bit of Echoes, but the last game I deep dived in was Awakening. So it's gonna be interesting to dive into it because I'm pretty sure that is the game I'm going to review. Even if I don't review it, I'm buying it in July. I'm gonna buy Fire Emblem Three Houses. So because I might end up reviewing Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I'm not sure yet. I might review them both if I feel so inclined.
Whoa.
I just know that Fire Emblem is going to take me like hundreds of hours before I actually decide, oh yeah, I can review this now. Because that's just the way that game is. Dude, Fire Emblem Awakening sucked my life. I think I had put like 500 hours
So
in
what
that
you're
game,
saying is if you're going to review Fire Emblem, it won't be for another 6 months.
Yeah, well, you'll see it in like 3 years.
Yeah.
Anyways, and unfortunately, I don't have an audience that'll wait that long.
Yeah, right.
See, I gotta find a shtick. I gotta be like the girlfriend reviews channel, where it's like the review isn't of the game; it's of what it's like to be the girlfriend of the person playing that game.
Gotcha.
So then you can grab any game your boyfriend wants to play
Gotcha.
that week. It could be from whenever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a recently released game.
Yeah.
And see if the shtick still works. Because you could pick out a popular game like God of War from like last year, 2 years ago, and then whatever, it's still, because it's not an actual review of the game. Yeah, there's a lot of knowledge about the game in there, but it's from the perspective of the girlfriend watching you play it. So
Right.
a very, very clever concept for those guys, by the way. Congrats on all your guys' success out there. So maybe that's gotta be my approach if I want to go back. I want to go back a few years and review a game. I gotta I can't review the game like a traditional review.
No.
I gotta find my own angle.
Yeah.
Maybe what's it like introducing my kids or something like that to a game that they are not old enough to even be looking at on the screen.
Your parents.
Guys.
Your mom.
I'm obviously introducing my 3-year-old to Wolfenstein 2: Colossus.
Oh,
it's
obviously.
time. I got to teach him about Nazis at some point.
Obviously.
At some point, and this is the reality of the Nazis.
Oh, God.
No,
Can't even say that with a straight face, can you?
I mean, this is the alternative reality where they won the war. So like,
Right? No. Yeah.
anyways, I get to teach them about alternative realities.
Yeah.
And robots and lots of killing and why it's okay in a game but not in real life.
Right.
I don't want to have that moral conversation with my kid right now. My cat.
Your cat.
I hate
That hurts
cats.
too. I mean, that would like to see that conversation.
Oh my god. Oh man, this is what happens when we push the podcast back a day.
Right?
My mind is just woo.
Yep.
Yeah. So, is there besides just playing games, because that's like what we do every time we go, right? Play the games, get the footage, like priority one. Okay.
Right.
What else are you looking forward to about being there on the floor?
Strangely enough, as much as I'm not a crowd person, it's kind of awesome to see the size of the crowd and the hustle and bustle of everybody trying to run around, trying to get to the next line, trying to do this, trying to do that. It's also really cool to kind of see the different designs of the different booths and what they do different from year to year.
It's some of the booths that like they get super elaborate, which I know they're just blowing money to blow money.
Well, right. I mean, the first year when we went with Nintendo having
Nintendo built
Zelda?
the whole temple.
I mean, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was I'm going to be honest with you guys. Their booth last year wasn't nearly as impressive.
No, it wasn't, but it was still cool.
It was neat, but like we call it Smash Bros. Theme because over half the booth was Smash Bros.
Right.
But the whole booth wasn't really themed Smash Bros.
Right.
So it's kind of like this. They built a temple like they had an entrance that raised up for you to get in after you watch the opening trailer. Like,
right.
It was so cool.
It was. It was really
and like
cool.
then and the year we didn't go, they built New Donk City. So we just happened to go back on the lame year.
Yeah, of course.
When they didn't do something super unique like that. But
happens.
anyways, that's the thing.
But
what like
I mean,
okay, what? No, go ahead.
It's just cool to kind of see what other booths do and stuff like that. And
and like when you talked about the crowd, because I know you're not like a big crowd person. I think one reason though the crowds end up not really bothering me either is we are from Wisconsin. Northern-ish Wisconsin, and while there's gamers, we're not used to being around crowds of gamers.
Yeah,
like we both know people that game and this and that, but like it's not like we go out to Walmart and we just see gamers everywhere.
Right.
Like we don't live in big cities.
Right.
We're within driving distance of big cities, but we're hardly ever there, and so we're just not used to being among that many people that are all there just to play games and have fun.
Right.
I'm not going to say like it feels like home because it totally doesn't feel like home. I'm not used to it.
We're not used to it.
Our home doesn't feel that way.
Yeah.
But it feels like this.
I belong.
Well, it feels. Yeah. Well, you don't. That's the thing. You don't feel out of place because everyone's there to play the games. Yeah, we're there for more in a more business-like structure of we need to do this and this and this and this and this, and thus we actually get to play a lot more games than a lot of the people gamer passes because they don't have that determination. They're not going to always wait 4.5 hours in line.
Or the wherewithal to generally plan out their day.
Well, that too. And generally, we usually hit the Nintendo booth first every time anyways.
Yeah.
Because we already know the lines are going to be stupid long, and they're going to be longer and longer the earlier that everyone gets in. So it's like, look, if we can somehow get it out of the way, bang it out day one, yeah, we might end up going back.
Oh, I'm sure we do. And especially if there's a fantastic game in there.
Well, and there was just, I think we went through the general booth 3 times.
Yeah, something like that.
And I can't remember why, because I kept thinking, I think I remember why, because when we first went in there, we hit up some of the games, and then we're like, okay, some of the lines were a little long, and we're like, we'll come back another time. And in hindsight, we probably should have just waited out and got everything done.
Probably.
Then. And that's what I want to do day one is Nintendo booth, if we can get it all done day one.
Right.
Or past the long waits, get everything else in.
Right.
Get the heck out.
I think what it was.
Then we'll have a lot more time.
I know the first 2 times were because we wanted to try Starlink, both handheld and docked.
Yeah.
That was 2 reasons why we went through it.
Yep.
The third time we ended up hitting up Queen Bee,
Killer Queen Black.
Killer Queen Black, and Overcooked 2.
Yep.
Was the one?
That was the final
one time that we went through. Yep.
That was the final time.
Yep.
When we met Nintendo K in it.
Yep.
So, but I know we went through 3 times because I have 3 sets of the Mario Tennis Aces pins.
Yes.
So maybe I went through on my own. I might have went through on my own when I got back and you were in line for Pokemon.
Yep. I think you did.
I think at that time, in hindsight, I should have gotten the second line, and because even though I knew it was gonna be a half hour wait, whatever. At least it would have been playing something new. Because I think I just went back in and just played some games I already played. Mostly I just wanted to get in and play doubles in Mario Tennis Aces.
Yeah.
And then I never got to play doubles.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, really? Wait, we want to play doubles? Oh, no, this is what's available.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
like,
whatever.
Whatever. I mean, it's whatever. I had already basically played the hell out of it because they had the public test, so I had already played the hell out of Mario Tennis Aces. So
and whooped me.
Well, you started doing better once I taught you a couple of the controls, and you're like, oh,
okay.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, well, I played the public test.
Oh, I knew you knew, but it was one of those things that it was just like, well, okay, how do I don't? Oh, that's
I was laughing a little bit. And then I'm like, hey, by the way, this is how you do your specials. This is how you do this.
Yeah.
This is like this button's a different type of shot than this one, and they're just like, oh.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was a good time though. So this year obviously it'll be different, just because. Kind of learned after last year, you know what, if it's kind of structured like last year where you kind of get into a general area and then you can just kind of free roam and go to different ones, just get done the ones that we don't have a warp pipe pass for. Get done with the ones we get done with and call it a day. And we'll know things like We don't really need to play FIFA because we'll probably have that out of the way at EA Play. If they have another FIFA demo, which you're not supposed to record footage of, so who knows? Maybe they changed their policies.
Maybe they did.
We don't know.
I don't know.
So yeah, because I'm pretty sure the day one for us for the 2 or 3 hours we get to be on the floor. That hopefully we just get all that done. My only concern, of course, is always going to be the Pokemon. And if they have playable Pokemon and it's not part of the Warp Pipe Pass, it will be its own line again. And there's no way in hell we're getting in that day one.
Probably not.
And what sucks is that takes up like a majority of day 2 to wait in line. And you're like, oh, just wait for day 3. Oh, so wait for when the crowds are the biggest.
Yes.
This is where I miss having immediate. Pokemon is the only reason I miss having immediate pass.
Right.
Because of how long the line is once the general public's let in.
Right.
It is what it is. We'll get it done, folks. We will get it done. That being said, I guess we can kind of transition to a game we know will be there. We just had a Nintendo Direct on it.
Yeah.
Super Mario Maker 2. So you had a chance to watch the Direct, right?
I did.
All right. What are your thoughts coming out of that Direct?
It looks like a good game. I mean,
I know you didn't really play the original.
No, I didn't.
So.
I didn't really play the original. Some of the new stuff looks really cool. Slopes, obviously. I like the dry bones idea where you can just kind of play dead and you're invincible for a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Or when you jump in lava, you just kind of like float in it. Like his shell
in the head, in the head or whatever.
In the shell, and you're invincible there. And it looks like there was parts of it where he had like one of those spiny porcupines on his head too, and it was kind of running around with that on it. So that's kind of crazy. It seems like you could set up like races and stuff in levels, and because you can play with multiplayers.
They had different objectives this time.
Yeah.
So last time, Mario Maker was basically always get to the flagpole.
Right.
It could be creative, it could be this, but it's always just get to the flagpole, and that's when the level ends. But now they have you can collect 100 coins or like whatever, and those could be your objective. And that to me, that just like blew my mind opening the possibilities, because now it's not just get to the flagpole, it's whatever. And people are wondering is there going to be room based? Like, can you do go down a pipe, but to get out of that room you're in, you need to collect? Can we do room based objectives?
Maybe.
Instead of level based objectives. So
don't know.
That's
Mario Maker
change.
3.
One thing they did do, and this I think caught people off guard. There's an intense single player, 100 levels.
Oh yeah. Rebuilding
Peach's castle. These levels are all made by the Nintendo, so it's not pulling levels down from the servers or anything. It's all levels that will probably come with the game, built by Nintendo employees. And there's bonus objectives and all this crazy stuff with them. What are your thoughts on that? Because we haven't had a new 2D side-scrolling Mario game since New Super Mario Bros. U.
Yeah, probably.
Traditional Mario. No, we haven't had a traditional 2D one since then.
It seems like a relatively common gameplay element now, where you kind of build something up by spending, but although that seems more like more of a mobile game.
Well,
thing, where you collect almost like, God, what is like homescapes and stuff like that, where you play your almost like Candy Crush, your thing, and then you get points, and then you can spend it to upgrade your house or do stuff like that, and so it's kind of it's something similar to that in a way. But no, I like the concept. I've gotten stuck in those games before.
See, the thing is, it's basically beat the levels and you're fine.
Yeah.
So, I honestly think that that it's kind of brilliant. It's one of the things that actually sold me on the game, because I'm not big into Mario Maker, even though I played a bunch of the original. I'm not into building games, but there's this entire single player game in here that's as long as a normal Mario game.
It's almost like 2 games in one.
But it's not, because that's the brilliance of Mario Maker. It's not really 2 games in one.
Hey, you can go build stuff, or play other stuff that's built, or you can play this over here. Where it's all...
but the this over here is just something that other people built. Those other people are just Nintendo employees,
right?
So and they had them, they had a mode, before, and this mode, the mode's back where like you have like kind of the infinite play, but that's just random downloading levels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was a couple Nintendo employee levels you could play here and there, but like now it's like, no, we have that stuff, sure. But, dude, we have basically a full-blown Mario game inside the game. But instead of it being built like you would think a traditional Mario game might be built, no, we just built it all within the game.
Yeah, it's basically a 100-level Mario game.
Yeah.
That you just play and you collect coins and you build Peach's Castle.
I honestly think that it's brilliant.
So it's the story of how Peach's Castle was built.
Oh, here we go.
There you go.
Here we go.
There you go. That's how Peach's Castle was
Super
originally
Mario
built.
lore, baby.
Yep.
Mario paid for everything. That's all you need to know.
Yep.
I just the more and more they showed of this, the more I became impressed. There are some concerning things for some people. What are you thinking over here?
No, go ahead. Concerning things.
Well, the biggest concern I saw, and this is something I mentioned, I think, when I was live reacting to it, is they didn't show off any Amiibo costumes. Those were a big deal in the first one because in the NES mode, if you went the NES art style, you could have a Link. You could turn them into Link. You could turn them into whatever different characters. Mega Man even.
Yep. This one almost seems like it's straight Mario.
And well, here's the thing though. They didn't. This Direct focused on the new. Right. That wouldn't be new if they were just doing that again. That would be old. So that could be something they talk about at E3. So it's something that it still might be in there. There's no confirmation that that it's not in there. But I think people were hoping that it would be expanded, i.e., take it out of just NES. Like a lot of these character models, they were on the SNES, so why can't they be in the Super Mario World style?
Right, for sure,
or whatever. I think people were hoping to see it expanded, and that could have been new. Instead, it's like, oh, we're not even sure if it's in there. And for some people, that upsets them because they would make levels themed around the different games.
Right.
So that is disappointing if that didn't make the cut, but we don't know.
But kind of going off of that, in a certain way, it wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't in there because of the new the newer theming aspects of it, with the nighttime, the snow, the what the heck, a forest, the different themes that they have. Yeah, but
Mario's character model doesn't change if it's night or day.
I'm just saying, it wouldn't surprise me with
it would be a cut feature from the first game that a lot of people loved.
It wouldn't surprise me because Nintendo's going to Nintendo on something.
Yeah, they're making you have the Nintendo Switch Online service for it.
No, yeah.
That's what they're Nintendoing.
Yeah, there is that.
But I mean, here's the thing. Oh, on that front, there were people legit trying to argue with me that there's no way before the Direct happened that Super Mario Maker 2 would have a Nintendo Switch Online service. And I'm like, guys, it's a game that you upload and download levels.
Yep.
It's going to have the online service as a requirement. Yep. I get that like all the other required games are like massively multiplayer online games, but
you probably won't have to have
that's because features like this weren't in the other games.
You probably won't have to have it to play the
single player. No, the 100 level thing. I think from Nintendo that's gonna. I mean, that's you don't have to download anything.
Right.
That's just part of the game.
Right.
But you'll be able to create stages. You'll probably do local share of your stages.
Right.
But if you want to upload your stages, you want to download. You don't buy Super Mario Maker 2 if you don't have the Nintendo Switch Online service. I mean, they're bundling the Nintendo Switch Online service with the damn thing for $70 to try to give it to you half off.
Right.
So like they know this is a game that's going to push the Nintendo Switch Online service.
Mm-hmm.
I already have it, so it doesn't really matter for me.
But it does stack.
Yeah, it does stack. So like if I got the $70 one, it would just give me an extra year.
Yeah.
So that's nice, but I just would buy the $60 version and worry about it later.
Yeah. The one thing when I lit up, because I remembered, how about the go-kart?
Oh yeah,
that was freaking awesome.
That caught me out of nowhere. I didn't freaking awesome. The car in the game. I'm like, what the?
they're bringing Mario Kart into it.
Like that wasn't in the old one. So
they're bringing Mario Kart into it.
There's a lot of there's a lot of new things. What I thought was interesting is they brought Super Mario 3D World in, but it's separate.
Yes.
It's like you can't convert anything into it. You have to build a level just with that.
Which
it's fine. I think it's because the physics and everything work different. Like with all the other games, all the other versions they have, it's Mario's Mario with a new coat of paint, basically.
Yeah.
But this is different. In this one, you can climb walls. In this one, the physics are a little different. So I think it doesn't nicely convert. So
that's when you just, you
can say it's a lazy way out.
Odyssey it, where you can go through a warp pipe. Hey, look, magically you're there.
But it's not 3D. It's still sides. It's taking a game that was in a 3D plane and making it just side scrolling. So, because 3D World was technically a 3D Mario game.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
don't ask me.
I don't think it really matters, to be honest, because we didn't have it before at all. So
right.
It's just another thing to do in the game.
Right. I going back to the theming thing with the nighttime. It's really cool to kind of see how it changes the levels, where like the Goombas float or the
the nighttime thing in general is just really cool. Like because you always had the sun doing its thing, but like now
the
moon.
angry the
Where
vengeful sun.
the heck did the moon? Where the happy moon come from?
Is
there a game that was in?
Sunshine? No, was Sunshine? Was that moon pieces?
You would get like shards and stuff, but we're talking about
like
how the sun acts in the game is how it acted in the 2D games, where it would come and attack you.
Odyssey has moon pieces. Duh. God, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, but still.
Right, but
what's that have to do with happy moon nighttime?
No, I don't know. No,
it's the opposite of the
vengeful sun. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it the the gravity.
Oh yeah, flipping
changes.
The level upside down.
The underground levels are upside down. The Goombas float. I like that one, obviously.
Anything that has to do with Goombas, he's just fawning over here.
Yeah, I like Goombas.
Keep it in your pants, man. Keep it in your pants.
It's a Goomba.
Yeah, and I'm gonna Goomba stomp you. Anyways, yeah, like everything about Super Mario Maker 2 is so far above and beyond what I expected. Because I basically expected it to be Super Mario Maker with a few new cool things, the slopes and whatever. And instead they really blew it out, man.
And then the different things that you can do with the on-off switches and the
that too.
Appearing and disappearing blocks, and you can make timing puzzles.
Yeah.
And
the thing is, I'm not going to play around with a lot of this like you guys might. That's why I'm not sure if I'm a good person to review this game. But then again, it could be reviewed from the perspective of as someone who is just more into playing, like because everyone's going to review it from the what's it like to build things. And I'm gonna be like, but I don't really like that. I like playing other people's creations.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Everything to me just looks amazing about this game. And I went from like a hype level of a 3 or a 4, where it's like, yeah, it's going to be pretty good, but it's not really my cup of tea, to I might get a solid 7, man. And seven for me usually means I'm going to buy.
Yeah.
And it can go up from 7. That's just what I feel now without having even touched it.
Right.
So it could end up being an 8 or a 9. Heck, if it hits 10,
else.
If it hits 10 for me, that means I'm building like crazy, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
And I haven't found a builder game that makes me love it yet. So, I played Mario Maker, so like I already know how it works.
Right.
But I don't know. Maybe this game will do it for me. I don't know. The changing water levels, you can have those go up and down now. You couldn't do that before. The auto scrolling, having to go different directions. You can now build vertical levels that go up.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is awesome.
Yeah.
My mind is blown. That's all I can really say. One thing that was a little strange, they announced towards the end. I want to know your feelings on this. They announced the $99 passes. Not really passes, vouchers.
Yeah.
That you could get. They do have the games listed you could buy. Where basically you can get two $60 games digitally for $100. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, it's a discount. It's for the Nintendo Switch. It's the first perk we've really had that's an actual perk where you save money, potentially.
Right.
I mean, technically the only way to save money is to not spend any. But if you're going to buy the two of those games,
for sure,
they're giving you a discount.
part of me thinks that they'd sell more if they sold them singly.
Well, and my thing, I was thinking at the time, why do we need vouchers? Why don't you just say, hey, why don't you just say, hey, if you're a member of the Nintendo Online Service, you get 17% off of every first party $60 game we release. You just get a 17% discount. Because that's what it is.
Yeah.
You say $10, you say 17%. So it's like...
Yeah, no, definitely. It's way more complicated than what it needs to be.
And what I don't like about it is that... say I want Super Mario Maker, but that's all I want. I have to spend $100.
Yep.
Like,
no, for sure, and that's why I said I think they would sell more if they hadn't.
But that's how they're trying to get you. How many people are going to buy and never use that second voucher?
Or
especially
how many
people that already own? Or like some of those games they haven't like 1-2 Switch. You can get 1-2 Switch. Like 1-2 Switch isn't $50.
No. Yeah.
So how would I use a voucher on 1-2 Switch when it's not even? You can go to the store right now and probably find it for $30.
Yeah.
Like, why the hell? Like, the games are included. Like, even Breath of the Wild, you can get brand new for $45.
Yeah.
It's a ripoff for some of the stuff.
Right.
It would be great. Yeah, our Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and if it's good for Fire Emblem Three Houses, I guess it might be nice to pick it up in July and get those two games for $10 off. Digitally, that's fine, and especially if you like digital. But in a lot of cases, like, I look at that list and I'm like, okay, I just went on Amazon, brand new. It's cheaper than 50, brand new. Cheaper than 50, brand new. Like, why? You're not saving money. I mean, you're saving money on the digital version, but you're not really saving money overall. It's not really like, oh, you spent money for the privilege to have access to save money on something that you can save money without paying for the access and privilege.
Yeah, just a little bit. But how many people are also going to look at that and go, I only want one game. Well, I guess I'm just going to buy the game. I spend the extra $10 instead of the extra 60.
Extra 40 for them in that case.
40, yeah.
Yeah. And that's another thing, too.
30.
Here's the thing. I'm not mad that there is a discount available. I mean, I'd rather have this than nothing.
Obviously.
But, like, why can't we just get it better? Why doesn't it... I was about to say, why does Nintendo? Because this is totally a Nintendo thing. They can't just give you the discount.
No.
They have to add this big caveat to get the most money they can out of you up front right away for something that isn't even that good of a deal in the first place unless you're getting brand new games day one.
Right,
if you're getting majority of the games on that list, it's like they're already 50 or under.
And actually,
Not on the eShop, by the way. I know the MSRP on the eShop. No, they're not. But I'm not talking about eShop. I know it's an eShop discount, but like most people, if they're looking for deals, they're not looking for deals. They don't really care if it's digital or physical. They just want the best deal.
And then on top of that, something that's complete BS is, let's say you buy the thing. Buy the passes or the vouchers. They're only good for a year after
purchase.
Purchase. That's bullshit. So if let's say you buy them and no other game you really want comes out, I mean, or you forget that you have it.
I mean, you would like to think you would like to think you'll use it eventually, but if you forget about it, it's kind of like the gold coins. Like the gold coins are used for discounts, but if you kind of forget about them, you might never apply your gold coins to get the discount, and then they expire.
Right.
But at least then it's like, well, that was just kind of a bonus.
The gold coins, you don't purchase them. You get them for buying the game.
Yeah, it's just a bonus from buying games. Yeah.
The fact that this is an actual purchase,
you're basically pre-purchasing two games.
Right.
Is what you're doing.
Right.
But you don't know what those two games are yet. Or maybe you do.
And the fact that it expires, that's garbage. That is straight up garbage.
I'm not going to argue with you on that. I can't defend that. I think it's dumb. I'm glad that we have it, period. And it's fine. Like, as I said, there are those situations. Like, if you know for 100% for sure you're getting Marvel Ultimate Alliance and Fire Emblem Three Houses in July, you're getting them digitally. They're going to be $60 a pop. Duh! Buy the damn vouchers and get them for $20 off. Why would you not? You'd be dumb not to. But I'm not trying to argue there's not a use for them, but they could have done better. They could just have 70%. Like, why can't we just get a standard discount? Whatever happened to Satoru Iwata's concept he threw out there of a customer loyalty program?
Right.
Future games are cheaper if you keep buying games from Nintendo. And they could have made that part of the online service.
The reason
5%
why
discount on the next game, 10% on the next, 15% on the next.
The reason why is because they want the perfect combination of those that are going to buy the vouchers and those that aren't. And they're going to make the money off those that aren't, and they're going to, quote unquote, lose their money on the ones that aren't.
Well, they're not really.
Or that
it's
do.
just a smaller. Here's the thing.
It's a smaller.
Guys, to let you know,
it's a smaller profit margin.
It's not a smaller profit margin. That's the problem. The $10 off is not there. It's a digital copy of a game. There's no shipping involved. There's no physical package. There's no cartridge. The cartridges themselves cost $10 a pop.
Right.
So they're minusing the cost of the cartridge off and giving you a discount.
Right.
But there's still no packaging. There's no shipping. There's no marketing.
Yes.
It's literally you're downloading off the internet. They make more money off that $50 purchase than off a $60 physical. Nintendo is fleecing you for more money and acting like it's a discount. This gets into the whole digital copy should be way the hell cheaper than physical, but
it's a smaller profit margin on digital version. That was my thing. It's a smaller profit margin if you buy it digital at full price versus the thing. It's a slightly smaller profit margin.
Well, sure,
one.
yeah, it's $10.
That's where I was going with
that. It's
a
$10. I get that, but it's
right.
Digital copies are too expensive, guys.
Yeah,
they should
just a little bit.
A digital copy of the game is not the same as a physical copy of the game. For basically one major reason. They could just take that copy away from you digitally. They can't take your physical card away from you. I guess Nintendo Ninjas could show up to your house, but
right.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So the point is, you go out and you buy Breath of the Wild physically, great. You buy it digitally, they could just yank it off the store one day and you can't get it anymore. But you still have that. If you have that physical copy, you can keep playing. Yeah. So, the point I'm saying is a digital copy is actually worth less value to a consumer.
Yeah.
You buy it for the convenience. You buy it for the convenience.
You can't turn around and sell it again.
Well, yeah. That's another thing, too. You can't. I mean, there are some platforms that are starting to let you do that, but you can't do that on Switch. So, there's no resale value. And this isn't me trying to say don't go digital. Fine, go digital. Fine. I get it. It's convenient. I have tons of digital games. Most of my library is digital.
Yeah.
It's cool. Go digital. But I look at it as you're throwing a bone to people who already are paying you money.
Right.
Every single year. You're throwing us a bone, and that bone is just making digital games cost what they probably should already cost. And even then, it's not just applied to a game. It's a voucher.
Right.
That you might forget about.
Right.
Chances
are you're not going to.
Well, chances are you're not buying the vouchers unless you're already just getting the two.
Planning on having two games, yeah.
You probably already have it planned, but
there is the chance that you do. And the fact that
but what happens in this case?
The PS1.
Say okay. So because here's another thing, the vouchers currently right now are only available to purchase until someday in June or in July or whatever. So there's actually only available for a small amount of time unless they extend it.
Right.
So knowing that, some people might be like, well, geez, I'm going to spend $300, or you got up to 8 vouchers, so I'm going to spend $400, have my 8 vouchers, because I know I'm going to get 8 Nintendo games in the future, and then you never do.
Yep.
And you just gave Nintendo money.
Yeah.
Or you're like, oh, I'm going to buy one because I'm going to get Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 and Fire Emblem, and you buy it now, right? Because a limited time to get these vouchers.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you get to July, or you get to July, and you're like, oh, you know what? The games aren't reviewing well. God, I'm not going to get them, and now I got these 2 vouchers.
I mean,
and now I don't have anything I want to buy right now, so I'll just hold on to them in case I want to buy something later. And then that's when the forgetting. Oh, I forgot about it. Because as Nintendo's like, oh, get your pre-order in, or you're not thinking voucher. You're thinking, oh, let me put my card
pre-order
and get my pre-order in.
Yeah.
Or here's the thing. It's fine. I'll wait. I guess I'll save it for Animal Crossing. There's a special edition of Animal Crossing. Well, that you can't voucher that.
Can't voucher that, yeah.
So,
or here, I'll save it for Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing. Oh, something happened. Guess what? We're pushing the date back.
Yeah, past the year that you bought the voucher for.
Yep. It's just.
Don't get me wrong. I think most people that buy the vouchers will blow even on games that they don't think they want just so that you end up using them.
Right.
I don't think most people are going to let them expire, but I just think that it's just, why can't we just get a standard discount? Why can't Nintendo just say, look, if you're a member of Nintendo's online service, you get X% off every game that we publish. Done.
It would be
done.
See, and the thing is, well, you'd get some of that money back with
the
increased
at least even like on
subscriptions to your online service.
Xbox Live and PlayStation Network, they have exclusive sales to those people. Well, this is kind of like their exclusive sale, but it's not a sale on a game. It's a pre-purchased games. Mm-hmm. We don't know what they are yet.
Yeah. Choose.
And you got to give us $100. Whereas like Sony will be like, hey, look, like for the next week we'll have a flash sale 40% off for only PlayStation Network members.
Right.
On this game and this
right.
game.
No, for
Why can't we do that?
I don't know. Because Nintendo's got to do something completely
That's what
different.
Nintendo thinks they know better all the time.
Yep.
And I get that like half of the Switch audience has Nintendo Switch Online service, but does that mean it's successful? How many of those are the free Amazon Prime member ones? Like that, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can get you should take advantage of it. By the way, you can get a free year on that service for being an Amazon Prime member.
All right, yeah.
So like, I get the service is cheap and all this stuff, and again, I don't want to look like a gift horse in the mouth saying that don't take away our vouchers now. Like, no, it's fine. You already announced to give us the vouchers.
Right.
I want Nintendo to what Nintendo needs to recognize about the Nintendo Switch Online service in general for me is that it is a service that you are hoping to get people to keep re-upping every year. So it needs to be all about pleasing the consumers. And they have not done a very good job since releasing the Nintendo Switch Online service at pleasing their consumers. And they might look at the bottom line numbers. Well, you haven't reached the end of the first year.
Yeah.
When people don't re-up.
Right.
So what you need to do is keep adding value, and adding a temporary voucher for a few months isn't really adding value.
No. Not at all.
You know, telling people, our first special offer is you have the privilege to spend $60 on controllers.
Let's put it this way. I'm not buying the Nintendo Switch Online service just so I can go buy those vouchers.
No. Well, I don't think they're thinking that's why you buy it. Nobody buys the service for the vouchers. I think that's why they view it as a value add. They think you're not buying it for the vouchers. You're buying it for one of our zillions of multiplayer games, right? Because we're forcing you to. You have to.
But I would buy the online service if it was a flat, like you said, a flat discount for every, the games.
Well, sure, because then it becomes
games.
like the rewards card program at GameStop, where like you get 10% off or whatever it is on every used game.
Yeah,
like across the board.
Yeah, I would.
Or you get a 10% bonus on every trade.
I would actually get the online service for that, even though right now I still kind of think the online service is garbage.
Yeah, I mean, if I wasn't a YouTuber, I wouldn't have it. I don't think. But I mean, maybe I would, because again, it isn't that expensive, and I like playing Nintendo games online. But like, that's it. I'm basically getting it because I feel like I have to have it to play what I want to play. I mean, it's really the reason that. I mean, let's just be honest. Setting aside all the bonuses and extracurriculars, if there's a reason that Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, and now the Nintendo Switch Online service hasn't taken away the requirement to play online games from that service, because they know if they do that, who's the hell's going to pay for it?
Right.
All this other stuff that makes people justify it and fight for them and argue about how amazing they are. It's like, but let's just be honest. There's only one reason only any of us even have the damn
because the games are behind the paywall. Like
if you remove the paywall for online gameplay, which does not exist on PC, that's why PC gamers laugh at console peasants. It's that
they're not wrong.
You already pay for your internet bill, so why are you paying to access the internet again?
Yeah,
because that's all these online services are. This isn't like Google Stadia where you're paying to access their servers. You are paying,
especially with Nintendo.
But even a lot of Microsoft and Sony, a lot of it's peer to peer. So like you're just paying to use your own internet and potentially paying for your internet to be used as a host to increase your bandwidth usage for other people to play on you because you have the faster internet. So you might be actually causing yourself to have a higher energy bill by hosting.
Yeah.
For paying for the privilege to do it.
Or if you have two people that have...
That's something you already pay for.
Or if you have two people that have data cap networks...
Oh, there's a data cap people pretty much never buy services like this.
Well, right.
Like, why? They can't even handle Netflix. They run a freaking data.
But what I'm saying is if you end up with two guys with data cap networks, good luck. Because you're going to bust right through your cap.
I understand that the reason these services exist is money.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
These are all for-profit companies, and yes, Nintendo's greedy. So is Sony. So is Microsoft. They're all greedy when it comes to online services, okay? Yes, we could talk about how the Xbox Live and PlayStation Network are vastly superior online services, and you're 100% right. And yes, you do pay more for those services, so maybe you should expect them to be vastly superior. But they've also been doing it for a long time, and they've got it to a point where most people tend not to complain about their services too much, except when the network's down. So I honestly think that Nintendo's at this point where they are so late in the game that it's kind of like trying to get into any technology that's popular. Like say Nintendo wants to make a phone. You can't just make another phone and do your own thing with it. There are set standards out there already to do what you're doing. You meet those standards first, then you do something
right. And I have no problem with Nintendo trying different things, but you gotta meet the
standards,
quote unquote,
the for an online service,
unwritten expectations.
Local voice chat.
God.
Fine, the app is an option. That's all it ever should have been.
Yeah.
Actually complete the promises you made about the online service that you just conveniently don't bring up anymore because you're not doing it.
Yeah.
I could spend hours and hours complaining about it, but it frustrates me, and I think that's what sucked about the voucher thing coming up. Is like, look, I'm not going to complain too much about the $70 thing, whatever. Nintendo's just trying to get more people to get the service, but like the voucher thing, it's just I get that's another incentive, I guess, to try to get the service, but I just don't think it's that great.
No.
Use it, when it's advantageous for you to, but otherwise, why can't we just get a standard discount? Like and again, so we would be like, you're just complaining to complain, and it's like, no, not. No. I when I criticize and have remarks like this, I genuinely want Nintendo to be the best version of itself. And yes, the best version of itself at times is going to be greedy. As an example, one common argument that Nintendo is greedy is that they charge $60 for like things like Wii U ports, when Sony might charge only $40 to like bring over a PlayStation 3 game. Heck, they might remaster it and only charge $40. And I get that, but Nintendo does it, and this is where I'm not. This is, as a consumer, I agree they're too expensive. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe has no business being $60. I don't care that it includes the Luigi U DLC. Yeah. I don't care that it has a couple extra things in it. Bottom line is, we're talking about a game that originally launched like 7 or 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. Oh, great! The $20 DLC is included. Okay, it's okay. That's 6 years. That's like 7 years ago. Like,
yeah, right.
Okay, like it's not worth 60. But here's the thing. What Nintendo has done, and this is the brilliancy in why Nintendo doesn't drop their MSRP, even though I just mentioned earlier you can get Breath of the Wild for $45. That's like Amazon saying we want to lower stock, so we're gonna drop the price by $15 just to kind of clear out some stock and get some money back. But like that's not Nintendo. Nintendo still has the MSRP at $59.99. So that's why when the MSRP drops, because it also drops on the eShop. So the big thing is Nintendo knows, because they don't really reduce the MSRPs ever, that people just expect their games to be $60, no matter what it is. Mm-hmm. So
nobody questions it.
People question it, but the bottom line is it moved like 5 million units.
Yeah, they're still gonna pay.
So like when you're still selling in the millions, I look at it and go, look, I can be mad and I can agree at the consumer level that this sucks, but you know what? As just looking at it from a pure business perspective, Nintendo would be idiotic not to charge $60.
Right.
Because they're going to sell millions and millions. They're leaving money at the table. There's no evidence to suggest that they dropped it to 40, they would sell more of them. Because if you look at Sony, who does that, they don't outsell, like Nintendo's games at 60. These ports at 60 are outselling PlayStation's 4's $40 PlayStation 3 ports.
Yeah.
And by massive numbers with less Switches out there. So Nintendo would be stupid to not charge 60. Think about this. Well, the best-selling game, the top-selling game on Switch, maybe Smash has surpassed it by now. I got to double-check the official number. It was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Mm-hmm. Again, a port of a Wii U game. Of course, they're still charging 60. It's like the best-selling game of the whole platform.
Yeah.
How much money they would have left on the table if they didn't charge 60? So, like, my thing is, that is a type of greed that I can not be mad about. I can say I wish Nintendo would charge only 40. I think it's only worth 40. But bottom line is the market determines the price.
Right.
If the market determines millions and millions and millions of us will pay $60, then that's what it is worth. It is worth $60. I can argue till the cows come home that I personally don't think it should be. Doesn't matter because the market disagrees, and ultimately the market is what decides pricing. Mm-hmm. If the game stopped selling at $60, Nintendo wouldn't price them at 60, but they keep selling. Breath of the Wild, why is it still 60? Well, it's still a top 10 seller in Japan as of last week, 2 years out. Why would they lower the price? The market is determining it could still sell at 60. So that's the thing. As much as we get mad at Nintendo for this, and you can wonder why can Nintendo do it and other companies can't? Because people stop buying the games. People don't stop buying the Nintendo games. I don't know why we don't stop buying them. We just don't.
Yeah. I get you.
So I don't get mad at Nintendo for it because I understand the business side of it would be why would they leave money at the table? But with the online service, I think they're leaving money at the table. I'm almost arguing from a business perspective. If they did better, they would have more customers using their service and thus make more money.
Yes.
So I'm actually trying to argue for them to fleece us more, but do it in a way that makes people feel good about it.
Yeah.
That's like the Fortnite, multi-billion-dollar Pokemon Go, people are spending oodles and oodles of money on these games, but people feel good about spending that money. Right now, people are kind of reluctantly getting the online service. And I'm trying to get Nintendo to a point where, look, no matter what, it's crappy that we have to pay for online multiplayer. No one's ever going to really say that's a good thing except for maybe some people that are shilling really hard. But you can make people feel good about spending that money. And that's what Xbox Live and PlayStation Network have done. They've made people feel good about committing that $60 a year.
Maybe not good, but
they made them feel comfortable.
It's more justifiable to spend that.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, I spent $60. Yeah, I don't really like that. You got to pay for play. But, dude, look at all
you
the
get
games.
This, you get this,
look at all
you
the
get
free
that.
games I got to play over the last year.
Right.
That were worth way more than $60.
Right.
It's just like Game Pass. Like, oh man, look at all every single Xbox One exclusives on Game Pass. $120 a year.
Yeah.
Man, just two of those games is $120, and I get all of them.
Yeah.
So it sounds expensive when you say 120, but it's like, but look how many games you get. Kinda, and that's not counting the retro library and stuff. So, people like Game Pass, people like Xbox Live. Those are the ones I have the most experience in general because people feel like it provides a good value to them.
Yeah.
And right now, people don't feel that this online service provides a good value because when we talk value, it's not about are people willing to buy this to play games online. Because ultimately, you could argue Switch offers a way better value in that case because it's only $20 for that paywall. So you could argue valuation in that way if you want, but generally when people talk about the PlayStation Network and Xbox Live, nobody's justifying it by you have to pay for it to play online. They're justifying it by all the perks you get by having it.
Yeah.
Nintendo doesn't have, when you talk about Nintendo Switch Online service, you're talking playing some NES games, Tetris 99 even, awesome, Tetris 99 is great, cool. Well, now they just added a DLC to it for $10. A game you only have with the online service, now you got to spend $10 if you want to play the new modes and stuff in it. And I'm like, granted, you never have to spend that money, but it's like, don't you see what's happening here? They gave you something for free, and now they're making it cost money.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you see what they're doing here? Nintendo's not adding value to you.
No.
They gave you something, and now they're trying to convince you to spend money on it. They're Fortniting it. They're Fortniting it. which is fine.
Yeah.
People generally don't feel good about spending that. Now, granted, I don't know how people feel. I'm not spending the $10 intentionally. Maybe the people that do spend on it are happy with it, but and I'm not saying that you shouldn't. That the game itself, base game itself, isn't worth $10. It probably is, but the bottom line is that right now, as a Nintendo Switch Online subscriber, I feel dirty.
Yeah.
Because I'm basically only doing it because I feel like I have to have it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it because I feel that I'm getting a lot from Nintendo.
It's not that you want to have it. It's that
I don't want to have it. Granted, I don't want to have Xbox Live either.
Right.
But at least there's perks that make you feel like if you're an avid Xbox gamer, at least you're getting enough free games generally, enough of this, enough that, to make you be okay with it. And I don't know what I would be okay with $20 a year.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've talked about it in the past. I basically just want basic services.
Well, yeah, I mean, and not just okay, yeah, guess what? One of your perks is you get a chance to buy different things that nobody else can buy. Whoa. Thank you.
Like, my whole thing with perks is the perks shouldn't be you have the privilege to spend money.
Right.
And that's my problem because you're already spending money to get the perks.
Right.
So the perks should be, congratulations, you have the privilege to spend more money.
I mean,
yes, a game discount
is
cool. Still the privilege to spend more money. But the thing is, you always have the ability to spend more money. A game discount is just saying, look, but if you were thinking about getting this game before and you weren't sure about it, well, maybe this discount now might convince you to buy it. Instead of it's like you have, what's the first perk they give you? You have the exclusive ability to buy NES controllers for your Switch that only work with NES games. Then you find out they work with every game. Okay, so that was BS.
Yeah.
And then I'm not saying they work well, but whatever.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, now you have the exclusive ability to buy vouchers.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what sounds a lot better? You get game discounts if you remember.
For sure. I mean, it's cool that they have. I mean,
you get voice chat through an app on your phone.
God, that
doesn't even sound good.
The store itself is cool. But if that's your only feature perk, is that you have an exclusive store. I'm not saying don't have an exclusive store, but if that's like one of your only things,
Club Nintendo was better and it was free.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing. I'm just like old school Club Nintendo. You got physical items for just playing and buying games for free. It was just a perk. It was better than the Gold Point redemption because you got literal items that were exclusive to Club Nintendo members. And like you'd be like, oh well, isn't that what the end? But I didn't have to buy this stuff.
Yeah.
It was just a bonus for buying their games.
Right.
It was a customer loyalty program, is what it was.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Right.
Iwata already detailed it out in the past. Rest in peace, my man. I know you're not here. I don't know if it would have ever happened, but he detailed out the idea of getting games cheaper for being a loyal consumer.
Yeah.
This isn't what he meant. You don't even have to buy a Nintendo game. You just buy a Switch and get the service.
Yeah.
And then you get the discount. And I'm not arguing that you shouldn't get the discount. It's just...
Yeah.
I just feel like there's better ways, and I don't know if we'll get there. Maybe like one thing I will say is Nintendo promised the Nintendo Switch Online service would consistently grow and get better. I haven't really seen it get much better. They added some Smash Bros stuff to the online app finally, but I feel like Nintendo, like we're getting new NES games. I think we just got a batch a week ago. And we already know what the next batch is, I believe, which is cool. But
yeah, I don't know. I think we
when are we getting SNES games? Oh, did you?
Oh yeah.
Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, they flashed it like twice, I think, in there.
I only saw it the one time.
Either way,
yeah,
they did flash the SNES thing in the Super Mario Maker thing, and you kept wondering, okay, are we getting SNES or was it an accident?
Yeah.
Like I legit, the fact that I legit have to wonder.
Yeah.
Was it just someone in editing screwed up? Or is someone in editing rebelling and they got fired because they got in there?
Maybe. Or
because why would it be Famicom in the US version?
I don't know.
Like if Nintendo's trying to tease, they couldn't even localize it. That's why I'm wondering if this was like a rogue editor.
Maybe.
That snuck it in as kind of like a, hey, I want SNES games on my Switch.
Right.
Or Famicom games on my Switch.
I don't know. Don't ask me.
And then like the Nintendo America crew that's going to voice over the Japanese version, they're just like, oh yeah, we saw that. We're leaving that in.
Yeah.
We're leaving that in. We wanted to.
Yeah.
It's kind of a conspiracy inside Nintendo where the employees are trying to push for it, and Nintendo's like,
whatever.
When we get to it.
Yeah. I mean, they're only getting to 3 NES games a year.
And the thing is, they'll probably announce it at E3 or something. I say probably. God, they might never announce the damn thing. We're probably only going to be getting NES games for a while. It's fine. I think some NES games are coming. It's just I don't know why it has to be so secretive. Like, dude, we're talking about games that came out 20, 30 years ago. Like, it's okay. It's okay to like let people know they're coming in the future.
Right.
Like, I'm all for transparency of, hey, we paid for a year of the service. You can at least let us know what we're getting over the next year.
Right.
And if it gets delayed, it gets delayed. It's whatever. At least we know it's coming.
Right.
But at least get excited. Please be excited.
Yeah.
Like Iwata used to say, please be excited, even when it was a really stupid announcement and no one was excited. At least he like recognized, this is a dumb announcement, but please be excited. Please. Like, I'm begging you, please. Please, this is all we got, please.
This is the part where you clap.
Wii Sports. Yes, we brought Wii Sports Resort over to Wii U, but it's like an online rental subscription service thingamajigger. Please be excited. Please be excited to pay rental fees.
This is the part of the podcast where I'm kind of wondering if anybody's still listening.
Part of the podcast where I rip my brain out and I eat it.
Oh, all right. That'd be interesting to see. All right.
Anyways, I think that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Nintendo Prime Podcast. I want to thank you guys all for tuning in. Be sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Nintendo Prime. For $5 a month, you get 1 day early access to the audio version of the podcast. $10 a month, you get to watch us record the podcast, which we usually do on Thursdays, sometimes Fridays or Saturdays. Either way, it happens. And for $20 a month, you get an opportunity to be on a podcast. Right now, it's kind of sketchy because we're kind of getting ready for E3, so I'm kind of just clearing my slate so I don't have to try to work my schedule around other people at the moment. But once we're past E3, it's full board back into patrons being in on everything that has to do with the podcast. Although I should note, sometime in the next week, I'll be putting up a post on Patreon where our patrons can start gathering some stuff together for our betting special. So that's going to be interesting to see what patrons come up with that. I'm actually putting the fate of the betting special in the patrons' hands, which is
oh boy,
good. Probably good news for Eric and bad news for me because they all want Eric to win. So
if
I mean, there'll be some stipulations and some rules that I present to them about what these kind of questions need to be like. But they can come up with it.
If your name is Eric, you get 1 point. There you go.
They'll be like, oh, we made a special rule.
Yeah.
Eric gets 10 mulligans, you get 0.
Yeah.
And there's only 10 questions.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, right.
So Eric gets a 50-50 shot at everything?
Yes.
No. It's not a 50-50 shot. It'll be there's multiple choice, but there's only 2 answers, and he gets a mulligan on all 10. So yes. I have to go 10 for 10 and hope for a tie.
Yeah.
For the tiebreaker to come into play that you probably also get a mulligan on.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Anyways, you can get our podcast, the audio version, anyways, on iTunes, on Podbean, on the Google Play podcast app, also on YouTube. You can obviously listen to audio or just watch the whole video, or get the day early over on patreon.com/Nintendo Prime. And I think that's it. NintendoPrime.net, which right now is kind of being revamped.
It's a work in progress.
Because we're trying to get it ready for news for E3 and pushing that forward. I basically kind of revamp it every time around this time of year, getting it ready for E3 so we can get news up. Plus, we have an issue with the old layout where every time I updated anything, it broke. So it was time to stop having that happen and get a more modern layout. So, anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. I am Nathaniel Ruffajans, and this is
Eric Moore.
And you can find you on Twitter where?
At Emo8790.
You can find me on Twitter at Ninty Prime. You can also find us find me anyways on Instagram. I know you have an Instagram too.
I do, but it's
I don't even know what mine is. I think it's Nintendo_Prime.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's what the Nintendo Prime Instagram is.
So you have your.
I'm trying to. Well, even when I go on and on here, I don't even know what it says. Like, oh, come on.
I'm sure if you went on to Instagram and searched Nintendo Prime, you'd probably find it.
Instagram. Well, there's other Nintendo Prime accounts.
Is there?
Yeah. So like.
Oh wait, no. I think there's only the one.
Yeah, it's
One
Nintendo _ Prime. I was right. So Nintendo _ Prime. It'll have my name. It'll say Nathaniel Rumple Jans, but that's because I am Nintendo Prime. So.
I think the other one is yours.
The reason I'm mentioning, I have my own Instagram too, but I basically use the Nintendo Prime one only. The reason I'm even bringing up Instagram is because during E3 and even in the past couple of weeks, I will be putting up images on there that I don't put anywhere else from E3, people I meet, and all that stuff. So trying to take advantage and recognizing that Instagram is a viable social media platform that is probably more viable than Facebook these days, even though it's owned by the same company. They don't limit your outreach to the people who actually follow you yet.
Yeah.
So we'll take advantage of it while we can, and then by the time we finally end up with like 100 followers, it'll be like, nope.
Yeah, right.
Nope.
Yeah.
Only 2 of them get to see it.
Only 2.
This isn't YouTube. I have faith.
Only you. Wait.
Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Oh, hey. Leave feedback on what you think, what you like about the set, what you hate about the set. Is the coloring good? Is everything bad? Do I suck? Was it a waste of money? You guys let me know. Peace. What? Actually, this is a wait for you.
What?
This is a wait for you. We're going to do something we haven't done before.
Okay.
It's not a conversation thing.
Okay.
I do thumbnails,
Yes.
right? Oh, I'm sick of going through 2 hours of a podcast to try to find like the one frame that looks usable for a thumbnail. So that's usable. So we're gonna do something funny.
Okay.
I don't know what you want to do, but I'm gonna beat you with the mic.
Okay. Why not?
Because I can.
I love how you wrapped the cord around it just to. No.
I'm choking myself.
No.
It's asphyxiation.
Yeah.
I'll put the word asphyxiation. The things that don't make it into the final version,
right?
Because I would be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I don't want to break anything.
Yeah, or actually hit me over the head with the damn thing.
Right. I just need a few frames. As the camera went out of focus for the whole thing.
Yeah, right. Asphyxiation. God, that head